Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Superbike 22 and it is the final round of our first season in Superbike 22 using the Kawasaki. It's down to this, the final race of the season with just 12 points in it. Alvaro Bautista 12 points ahead of us. It is time for us to dig down deep and fight back here in Phillip Island. So here we go then guys, starting in pole position, we wait for the red lights to go out and away we go. Not the best of starts against our championship rival. Alvaro Bautista got a great start. Rocket ship on board the Ducati, but it's very important for us now to hold on to the position and not get battered around from our future teammate Michael van der Mark. But look at us giving Toprak Razgatioglu with a bit of a movement into the right hand side there as we go into the southern loop for the very first time. I'm asking, I've got to try and squeeze past Alvaro as sooner rather than later, and we do position the Kawasaki exactly where we needed to be, and that is at the front of this field. We need to be taking as many points away as possible from the number 19 behind us, so firm on the anchors we'll go for turn 4. First entrance into turn 4, difficult corner to get right. The Miller corner, of course, it's one of those ones that you either get it right or you get it wrong. There's no in between for turn 4. A tenth of a second is in this one. Bautista's right behind us, and of course the speed on the straight is where we need to be the most concerned. Into this part of the track, I'm probably going to say it's my strongest part, although I do lose a bit of confidence into Lukey heights sometimes, especially after playing MotoGP and backing straight over into Superbike 22. But firm on the brakes, we'll go for turn 10 into the MG corner. We do hold on to the position. I've gained a couple of tenths of a second there. You see how Locatelli now moving ahead of his teammate as he battles, and actually Razgatioglu and van der Mark having a bit of a ding-dong of a battle there for 5th and 4th place respectively. So coming out to the final corner now, it's a 6/10 of a second advantage we do have. Across the line, it is 7/8 of a second. I'm not entirely sure what's happened to Bautista behind. Must have had a terrible launch going into the final corner, but nonetheless, let's not worry about that. Let's just focus on running our pace at the front. Now we're using the D4 and the DX1 tyre in this one, a combination that should hopefully bring us victory. 12 points are in this one, guys and girls. Do not forget that. 12 championship points are separating Bautista and us in first place at this moment in time. But firm on the brakes will go. Turn 4 once again. Nice apex this time around, and eager on the acceleration we were this time as well. Not too eager, but a little bit, because he did see the rear just skip out ever so slightly. But this gap is somewhat status quo as things stand. 5/10 of a second as we now approach the twisty, turny sections. Of course, we've seen Alex Lowe's put a move on Alvaro Bautista last year in 2022. But now into Lukey heights. Oh, a slight correction as we go into the 9th corner. Scary moment on board the ZX-RR, but we now go into the right-hand side for turn 10. A little bit deep, but we still hold on to the position, and that really is all that matters. This is a thinking man's game at this point. We've got to be really smart, consistent, and keep Bautista at bay. Do not let the Spaniard get involved with us at any point. So bringing on the power setting 3 to the max, ladies and gentlemen. Across the line, we weren't the fastest on track. Toprak is the quickest with a 1:27.867. And you can see the graphic in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. You can see the gap. Well, there isn't a gap, let's be honest. It's all very much tight and squared off at this point. Every single rider is trailing behind me. If we make one mistake, I think that's when everyone will start taking advantage. Fuel isn't looking too bad at this stage of the Grand Prix, still relatively where we want to be. I would like a little bit more in the green, but it's not a problem to be sitting at minus 0.1. A little bit deep for turn 4, but it still kind of works out well for us. We're still 3.5 of a second up compared to the previous lap time. Getting a bit out of shape into Siberia, though, and that has cost us a small smidgen amount of time to Bautista's favour, but it is less than 4/10, or at least it was temporarily as we went into the right-hander for turn 8. Into 5th gear now, dropping into 4th and into 3rd, and Bautista makes massive contact, really wanting to barge his way through, but we've got to respond as Bautista goes extremely wide just on the approach for turn 10. We'll try and go around the outside, but Bautista, whoa, his front tyre, I thought he took the front then. Goodness me. Bautista giving it all, giving it everything to make sure he wins his first World Superbike title. Of course, in real life he's already done it, but in this video game form he is yet to be victorious. Across the line to start lap 4 It's a PB lap time for us, even though we got clattered, but it's not really much to write home about at this stage of the Grand Prix. Aces, hang in there. We will hold on to this lead if it just defy all odds if we need to. I'm going to try and hold on to this as much as possible and win the championship. Of course, it has been announced that we will be moving over to the BMW squad, joining up with the German manufacturer, the SMR team. We'll be having MG11, Matt Grant, number 11, of course, will be with them, and it should be a very interesting season, so no pressure to finish up with Kawasaki on a high. But of course, if you want to see the reveal, check out the recent DrAce short. You can see the announcement there with a few images and of course a small, very small clip on board the M1000RR. But back to the action that is unfolding right in front of us right now. Turn 8, turn 9. This is where Alvaro Bautista was strong, and there he is again, but we close the door. Keep that door shut. I don't want to see anyone trying to sneak up on the inside, and the last person I want to see is Alvaro Bautista. I quickly held my breath for a moment there as I've seen the yellow flags out, but I'm not entirely sure who it was. I guess it doesn't really matter to us unless it is the number 19, the man from Talavera de la Reina. But now to the left-hand side for turn 12. We are still holding on to this one as the lap times are increasing. This is just getting more and more pressured. Across the line, we do get a PB lap time. It's a 1:28.137, but we're not quite into the 1:27s, and that's where I need to be. We did set some very fast lap times in the qualifying and in the practice, and I felt really good here in Phillip Island. It isn't a circuit that I really love anymore. I've sort of fallen out of love with the Australian GP circuit. However, I do feel quite good in this one. I feel like I've regained some confidence, and with the pressure being insurmountable at this stage, I think this is crucial for us. Of course, the showdown, the battle between Bautista and ourselves is just going to rage on to the very final race. Now, I must mention, Iker Lecuona is capable of winning this World Championship, but considering he's not in the top 9 and is currently 32 championship points behind, I don't think I see a chance for the man from Valencia. I just don't think Bautista is going to yield 32 points in this session, and don't forget, we would also have to yield points to Iker Lecuona, and I just don't see that happening right now, and I certainly don't want to jinx myself, but I'm feeling pretty damn confident. But now into turn 10, a little bit deep for the MG corner, bringing on the power a little bit prematurely as well there as we went too deep into the 10th corner, but recovered well into turn 11 and now into turn 12, keeping that Kawasaki positioned exactly where we want to be. Bring on the power nice and early here, but gently, not too aggressively, otherwise you'll end up spinning the rear up and losing a lot of time for this long straight. And across the line, it's a crucial lap time. Fastest man on circuit. The best possible time to do it with just 3 laps remaining in this session. It's a 1:27.837. Brilliant lap time. That's exactly what we were looking for, wanting to get into the 1:27s, and we've done it right here, right now. Fuel still not looking too bad, but what has got my attention is the rear tyre. The rear tyre right now has got nothing left on the left-hand side. The DX1 is being pushed to its maximum, and it's hopefully not going to lose anything, but we do make a mess into turn 4. Getting caught on the rumble strip there was absolutely dire for our chances of victory, and oh goodness me, 0.5 of a second as it separates us. Oh, never mind about that, it's less than that. 0.3, 0.4, it's hovering. We've got to continue pushing. We only lost 0.5 in that exchange, so it's not too bad. But I've got to stay focused. That small moment could have ended the entire championship charge. And now the gap is less than 0.3 of a second. Oh, it's getting scary. Out the shape into turn 10. Oh, yellow flags out again. This is wild. We've all been waiting for this one, and I do apologise that I've kept you waiting for the final round of the Superbike 22 Championship forever. Just, yeah, if you didn't know already, I did get ill. I got quite a bad chest infection. Managed to power through for some streams in Ride 4, but unfortunately the videos had to take a step back, so I do apologise for missing out on the content recently. But proud to say we're back, and we're back in fashion. Here in the penultimate lap, we have a chance of taking victory in race 1, which will certainly do us no favours, certainly do us favours rather, for our battle in the championship. No harm done getting a first place here. Yes, we won't be taking a massive amount away from Bautista, but you gotta wonder, this is just small momentum moments. Each time we finish ahead of Bautista, it puts us that step closer towards a chance at the championship. Now, unfortunately, it isn't going to be smooth sailing with Bautista finishing in second place. And this was my biggest concern for this championship, for being in Mandalika and making that mess into the final couple of corners that I tried to make a move on Andrea Locatelli. The point was that Bautista's still going to be right there in the top 3. We aren't going to take massive championship points away from him, and that is crucial for our damn championship. And we've just got to keep on pushing, but we will take a very important 5 points away from Bautista, so we cannot neglect that. We really can't. That's 5 points. It would put us to 7 points behind. Calculate that with another victory or another finish ahead of Bautista in the SUPERPOLE session, and then another race win in race 2. Never say never. It is possible, and we will have a chance. And crucially, Locatelli is ahead of Alvaro Bautista. We should be Yamaha bound if that happens. If Locatelli holds off Bautista here on the final lap in Phillip Island, I will eat my metaphorical hat. Please, Locatelli, hold on to that position. We will take even more points away. We've got a 5-point swing as it is, but we would take, what, another 5 points? That would put us 2 points behind? This is crucial. This is absolutely critical for this championship. Bautista does not want to be making any more mistakes. He cannot afford to let Locatelli finish ahead of him. And a quick look behind, actually, just caught my attention once again, is the graphic there. There's a massive gap between riders now. This consistent fast pace that we're putting in right now is exactly what the Doctor ordered. What DrAce ordered. Oh, and Toprak! Toprak was temporarily ahead of Bautista there. The number 19 is letting this championship slip through his fingers. 12-point advantage going into race 1. He could be without an advantage at all by the end of this session. Turn 10, tackled for the final time of race 1. Locatelli is still holding off the number 19, the 55. God bless you. You're doing a stellar job. But we will enter the final corner for turn 12. Bring on the power. You see the rear tyre just slipping. But we've done enough. We've done it. Ladies and gentlemen, across the line, it is a victory for us here on board the Kawasaki. But crucially, taking away 10 points away from Alvaro Bautista. The gap is down to 2 points. So after an intense race 1, it's now time for the SUPERPOLE session. We wait for the lights to go out, and away we go. Almost identical starts from race 1. Bautista is neck and neck with us right now. Razgatlioglu's got the perfect start, the dream start for the Turk. But we do go into the right-hand side. Do we hold the position? Bautista's going to have the best entry going into the southern loop. Contact's made there with the Yamaha, but we still hold in firm as we go into the left-hand side. Can we go around the outside of Toprak? You bet we can. But do we have the acceleration? Do we have the legs to get away from the Yamaha? We do. But now into the left-hand side, it's going to be it's going to be a very impressive move if we can get past Bautista on the brakes, but it's not going to happen this time around. Firm on the anchors, we went for turn 4. Toprak gets back ahead of us. That's not what we want. That is not what we want. We must fight back. And ladies and gentlemen, may I remind you, this is a SUPERPOLE session. We have to finish as high as possible to make sure we start from the best possible position for race 2. SUPERPOLE points, yes, of course, they are minuscule compared to the actual full race win, but we cannot afford to lose any more points to the number 19. Bautista on board that Ducati right now is looking rather comfortable, and someone has got to impede his rhythm. So into turn 10, we'll go for the right-hand side. Oh, very close to Michael van der Mark, the future teammate of ours. Getting a bit too close for my comforts. Get back, Michael. I've got a championship to fight for. The Japanese manufacturer right now is just praying that we can get back ahead of Toprak and then fight back against the Italian for Alvaro Bautista. And I mean, oh, what is that? Oh, massive moment. Caught on the rumble strip. Absolutely dire consequences for us are almost made. Goodness me. And I was just about to mention, of course, the Italian manufacturer is in the Ducati ahead of us, of course. The Spaniard on board that machine is doing a stellar job at this stage of the Grand Prix. It's exactly what he would have wanted when he dreamt about this race last night. But bringing on the power, we've lost all confidence in that left-hand side of the rear tyre. The SCQ might have been a gamble too far, but we are stellar on the brakes for turn 4. Stupendously done, bringing in some extra tenths of a second to our advantage. Got another Yamaha behind us, so it's currently a Yamaha sandwich, with the topping being extra Yamaha with Toprak ahead of us, and the GYTR Yamaha behind for Garrett Gerloff. So now into the right-hand side for turn 8. A little moment to board the right-hand side of the Kawasaki there, but back over to the left on the dwindling SCQ rear tyre that's got nothing left. There's no way that's going to last the duration of this race. This could be a massive mistake from us, but we are still on the charge. We're still on the hunt, closing in all the time and getting closer and closer to the former world champion. Up on the inside of Toprak, we get the move done. Brave move into the left-hand side. Now into the left-hand side once again for turn 12 with the slipstream enabled. We should have a chance of getting past the Ducati. We do. Critical movement. Oh my goodness, that was critical. 1:27.267. Brilliant lap. That's a fantastic lap for us. Not too far away from my qualifying lap time, but Bautista fires it back up on the inside. Aggressive move from Bautista, but he's got to get it done. Now into the left-hand side, into the penultimate lap of the qualifying, the SuperPole session. We do move ahead of Bautista. We do hold on to the position, and we do get more points in our favour, as this one is going to go down to the wire. This one is going to absolutely go down to the wire. Excuse the voice crack there. Of course, it's getting rather intense now, and yeah, this can be excused. But now into Siberia for turn 6. You see the Ducati there, the Aruba.it, wanting to make its move. Just can't get it done yet. Bautista's got to stay patient in this one because we are approaching the worst part of the circuit for us now due to the state of that rear tyre. The SCQ cannot hold longer, please. I hope it does hold on, but it really isn't looking promising for us right now in our battle for this championship. We do enter turn 10 and still remaining in the lead. Now this is massive for the championship. I cannot express this enough, and I've probably said that word so many times, but this is a 12-point win for us. 12 points in our favour. 9 points Toprak would get, and 7 is what Bautista would get at this stage of the Grand Prix. So if my maths serve me right, that should put us 3 points ahead of Alvaro Bautista, and we start the final race, the final lap of the SuperPole race. Getting too far ahead of myself in this particular skirmish, but now into the left-hand side for the southern loop. There's nothing left of that rear tyre. I can't hold on. There's just not much we can do. I'm trying to brave it into these left-hand sides, but there's just no feeling. The controller rumbles like mad. His bike starts swerving, starts turning and everything. We can't hold on to that rear tyre much longer. The right-hand sides, we should be good as we go firm on the brakes for turn 4. A little bit too eager on the brakes. You've seen the rear tyres squirming around as we got too firm on the front. Going firm on the front like that lifts the rear tyre up and causes very uneven braking and very, very unstable. Toprak is checking out of this one. I fear the worst now, but it's important that we do finish ahead of Bautista, which will give us 2 championship points ahead of Bautista. And you know what that means? We would be level on points going into the final race. Another yellow flag into turn 10. My goodness, there's a lot of crashes into turn 9 and turn 10. It's corners where I would expect it, but there's a lot of crashes into that particular corner. Got to keep an eye out for that one for the next race. Keep well away from anyone behind us, but Toprak is going to do the business here in the SuperPole session. There's nothing left for us in the left-hand side of the tyre. We're going to bring on the power. Got caught in the rumble strip once again. Please don't do that thing earlier, but we're still pretty solid. That's very, very important points. 2 points in our favour means we are dead locked with Alvaro Bautista for the chance of winning this World Championship. So ladies and gentlemen, this is it, the final race of the Superbike 22 season. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Locked on points with a man on the right hand side. Bautista gets the dream start. Toprak got an even better start. You see, there's that Xavi Vierge going around the outside. We've got to push him back and hold on to this position. This titanic tussle, this trio of riders right now between Toprak, Alvaro and us is still going to remain the same. Locatelli's in 4th, of course, did us a massive favour by finishing ahead of Bautista in the first race, but now we've got to hope he doesn't get involved with this scrap. We've got to do everything we can to try and get ahead of Bautista. That's all we've got to do. That is the objective now. Finish ahead of Bautista. Whether I finish 1 point ahead of him, or 2 points, or 3, whatever it is, we just have to finish ahead of Bautista. I'm sure we've won more races than Bautista as well, so technically we should be ahead just by the wins alone. Toprak has had a brilliant start, but I'm eager to get with the Turkish rider. If we stay with him, we should be pretty safe for the rest of this Grand Prix. Now entering the left-hand side for Luki Heights. This time we've got a decent rear tyre, and I did
try and go for the harder option one, just to try and hopefully have a chance of hanging on to the end of this race. So it's a little bit cold at this stage of the Grand Prix, but it's worth the gamble, unlike the gamble we took in the SCQ session. Yes, we took a podium, but I think we could have had a lot more if we chose the right tyre. Now into the left-hand side for turn 12. Oh my goodness, lap 1 has already ended. That is just 7 more laps in this session remaining, but bloody hell, what a speed on the straight there. Toprak is going to be alongside us as we go into turn 1. Not quite. Brave and bold as Toprak on the brakes. We downshift to third, back up into fourth, and now over to the left-hand side. Got to keep it in. A little bit wide there for Southern Loop. I prefer the tighter apex because Alvaro Bautista could sneak it up on the inside like we just seen. Feinting the move was the man on board the Ducati Panigale V4R. We now go to the left-hand side for the Stoner corner. We will expect to move from the number 19. Not happened yet. It looks like he wasn't as brave as we were on the brakes, and we certainly weren't as brave as Toprak, of course. Who the hell is as brave as the Turkish rider ahead of us? Especially when it comes to the braking, of course. But now to the left-hand side from Siberia, underneath the Pirelli sign we'll go. Getting closer and closer to Toprak. This is a great opportunity for us to get ahead of the Turk. If we get ahead of him, we've got a wonderful chance then, because we just have to keep running our rhythm, not worrying about what's happening behind us, just focus on the front, and then we're pretty solid. A bit similar to what we did in race 1, of course. So braking now into turn 10, tight to the apex if we can. No, not quite, a bit too deep for my liking there. I do prefer it to be a little bit tighter, and that way you get the entry going into turn 11. Very wide for the entry into turn 11. Nice and tight we aim to get for turn 12, not quite, still a little bit deep. But Toprak goes excessively deep there. That's going to cost him a lot of time on the straight, but we can't compete with the speed of the Turkish rider on board the Yamaha R1 at this stage. Lap times are nothing to rave about yet. 1:28.038 for Toprak. Not much happening yet, but Bautista, the championship has swung over again. It's now time for the Ducati to take the championship lead. We'll go into the Southern Loop for the left-hand side, push him back if we have to. Rubbing is indeed racing as we make contact there. Had to do it. Had to get into it. The aces tell me I'm quite ruthless with the AI, and so be it. I will be ruthless when there's a championship up for grabs. Now into turn 4 with Bautista right behind us. Looked like we were practically riding on board with the old Spaniard, the small of statured man. But now into the left-hand side for Siberia. Third lap of 8 complete. This is actually the third lap. I'm getting ahead of myself here. We're on the third lap. We've not completed it yet, so we've got to pay attention to that one for now. But into the left-hand side for Lukey Heights again. Toprak. Really deep for that corner. Really, really deep. It makes me concerned, actually, because it looks like he's actually going to go off the circuit. Oh, yellow flags are out again. I quickly looked for the number 19. I should be really focusing on the race, but the second I see those yellow flags, my eyes are straight to Abao, number 19, who's currently in third place. If he crashes in race 2 and gives us the victory, that would be a massive, massive shock. Across the line, Toprak improves. He does improve to a 1:27.9, and we get the better of him with a 1:27.872. And I think that's actually identical lap time we set in race 1. I might be wrong, but it looks very similar to the other lap we did in the first race. Toprak leads by 4 tenths. It is similarly 4 tenths, 5 tenths back to Bautista. Xavi Vierge doing his bit for the Hondas. Look at Tati Mercado and Hafiz Cyrene in 7th and 8th. That's a brilliant performance from them two. But we got too tight to the apex there and had a small moment. But it was nothing to be too concerned about. More of a rumble on the control, if anything. It didn't really feel like we were going to crash. So now into the left-hand side for turn 5. Now into turn 6. Turn 5 comes up so quick, and then 6 enters very, very fast as well. Bringing on the power. Power setting 3 engaged, of course. Don't want to be dropping it down to any smaller amounts. Not at this stage of the Grand Prix, of course. But we now go to the left-hand side for Lukey Heights. Keep it in tight. Tight as you like, as Toprak once again makes a massive moment into turn 9. He's got to stop going so wide. Look at the time. We've pulled back on the Turk. The R1 has just really messed it up in that corner. But now into the left for turn 11. Toprak, after one mistake into turn 9, has cost him a dramatic amount of time. As we go into turn 12 with the slipstream, we should be taking over the race lead here, and still holding on to the championship lead by an extra 10 points. Contact made there, but not to worry. Getting across the line to 1:27.605. The man on a mission right now is us. So into turn 1, Toprak responds.
Toprak has responded, but I'm pretty strong into turn 2, providing we have a tyre underneath us that can hold on to it. Into turn 2, keep it in tight. Oh, a small correction with the Kawasaki, but we're right on Toprak's rear tail once again. Gotta get back. We don't really need this position, but I want to put as much space as we possibly can to Bautista. So firm on the brakes we'll go then for turn 4. Keep it in tight if we can. Can we get through? Still nothing yet. I'm not really that confident to overtake into turn 6, and we certainly weren't close enough, but Toprak makes a small mistake. Is it an opportunity for us to fight back? Look at the lap times. We're still close to setting our fastest lap here, but during a battle. Bautista's 1/10 behind. This is not over yet. We now approach the left-hand side of Lukey Heights. Toprak goes deep again. Can we take over? We have, but where is he going to be on the right-hand side? Is he there? We're good. Oh, I panicked. I won't lie to you, I did tense up, thinking he was going to see a would-be lunge for the man on board the R1. Surely he knows that the championship was up for grabs, and he certainly wouldn't be the one to take out a championship contender. Toprak would not, probably, I would like to think not, get involved with such a battle at this stage of a very crucial race. So we start lap 6. 3 more stress-inducing laps here in Phillip Island. Turn 1, we still conquer this race. Toprak remains in second, which is fantastic for us because it's making life difficult for the number 19. The Ducati around the circuit is strong. In fact, actually, well, it is strong, but looking at the top 8, there is only one Ducati in that top 3. And top 8, probably in the top 10 as well. One Kawasaki that's leading the race, quite a lot of Yamahas, and 3, count them 3 Hondas on the live standings on the left-hand side of your screen. Absolutely madness, but we go too deep to the apex of Siberia there. Getting a little bit nervous now. With 3 laps remaining, only a 1/10 of a second it is to Bautista. Toprak has fallen off a cliff somewhat. Bautista's right on the march now. We knew he wasn't going to give it up lightly. And thinking of it, of course, the man who's so good with the rear tyre and the soft option tyres and managing it, you've got to believe he's got a great chance here. If there's a crash behind us, a yellow flag once again going into turn 2 at turn 10. But we aren't lucky enough for it to be Alvaro Bautista. I don't really want him to crash there, of course, but if he did, then it means we win the World Championship, and that is something not to be scoffed at. So bringing on the power, we will start the penultimate lap here in Phillip Island. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this one, because it is soon coming to its completion. The conclusion will be either us or Bautista as the Superbike World Champion. Now, I've never actually been unsuccessful in winning a championship in any of these milestone games. I really don't want that streak to come to its conclusion now and actually happen. I want to continue. I want to win this championship and move over to BMW with the saying, job well done with Team Green. But who knows at any point of this race? Does Bautista go for something crazy? Does the front tyre hang on? The D4 at this stage of the race is alright, but with 1 or 1.5 laps remaining, the D4 doesn't look that promising. I've got to hang in there. These left-hand corners now are absolutely critical. There is the Panigale. You can see the winglets. The Italian manufacturer is getting close. The man on board the Ducati is pushing, and we need to just hold on into Lukey Heights, get into turn 10 and brake as hard as we can. He's down! Oh, he's gone! Bautista! He's blew it! He's absolutely blown it! Oh my god! We were just talking about it. Oh, I'm stunned. I'm absolutely speechless. He's blown it. It's game over for the man on board the Ducati. A quick look behind us. It's over. Well, it is over, but we have to stay on board the bike ourselves to win this World Championship. What a blunder. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe that. He was so quick going into Lukey Heights. We've seen so many riders going deep into that left-hander. What on earth has happened? He must have clipped the grass. I cannot believe it. We didn't see him into turn 10, so he's obviously crashed into turn 9. But thank goodness his bike didn't skittle us. I don't know what happened there. There was crashes beforehand as well. I think Tati Mercado went down
and then Bautista went down, which, unless, I don't know, I don't want to surmise, but honestly guys, we've done it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to finish the final race here in Phillip Island as a race winner once again, but more importantly, the Superbike 22 World Champion. I do not know what to say. There's another crash into turn 10. I can't believe we've done it. This is the first time in a video I've been speechless. Did not expect that to happen. We've done it. Into the final corner now on one of our fastest laps. We are crossing the line as the Superbike 22 World Champion. Salute the master. Salute Dr. Ace. We've done it on board the Kawasaki. Alvaro limps home in 13th place. Look at the round points. You can see we took a massive chunk of points away. We almost got the perfect weekend, pretty much as best as we could have done there, but finishing so much more points ahead of Alvaro Bautista can only mean one thing. The man on your screen right now is the Superbike 22 World Champion by 21 points clear of Alvaro Bautista. So before we go to part firme, confirmation on your screens right now, we did win the Constructors' Championship. Of course, we won that quite a while ago, but winning for the Tokyo manufacturer is a great feeling. But more importantly, whoa, where the hell's the bike gone? The bike has disappeared. Don't know where that's ended up. We're covered in dirt. But most importantly, we have won the World Superbike 22 Championship. This has been a brilliant season. I've had to really dig down deep for this championship, honestly. Superbike 22's AI has been extremely difficult, and I can't wait to see what it's going to be like on board the M1000RR. The BMW is probably going to only offer more of a challenge, so stay tuned for the next couple of episodes, career mode and everything else Superbike 22. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed. If you joined me for the championship, I especially thank you for that. And finally, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and consider becoming a member for the channel for exclusive emojis and other updates as well. Guys, thank you for watching, and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.